Yeah, I got it working. Alright, sick. Let's get out of that. Stop, no. Back. Okay. We should be actually live now, but I want to see chat. Pop out chat. That's not popping out chat. That's me watching my own stream. Alright. Hey, Jimmy. Trying to get this thing all like happening. I accidentally was recording a video, wondering why it wasn't working, why it wasn't going live. But hey everyone, how's it going? You know, going to be streaming some Winning Life by Daylight episode 2. Pretty excited. It's been a while since I've actually streamed content from this. Why can't I just want to see the chat? I want to pop out the chat so that I can see Discord as well. It's like such a pain. See if I can squish it a bit. So yeah, that'll probably do. Alright. Yeah, I wanted to show off this main menu because I spent hours and hours and hours learning on how to build like exactly this. So we have all these really sexy buttons that light up when you mouse over them, which is like a whole thing. It's not really easy to do. It plays a sound when you mouse over it. These ones highlight as well. It's just like all made by me. We're going to try and take a path that hits as much of the new content as possible. But I'm probably going to miss stuff because I don't know what's in my own game. You started the day early and wander about the quiet corridors as you walk to your first class. Only a few students are here, as mostly teachers hurry about preparing for their first classes. Stopping by your locker, you grab the book for your first class and pop into the classroom. After you had detention yesterday, you're not keen to get in any more trouble. Oh, you're early too? Yeah, hey Emily. You watch Emily examine you closely with a sly smile. You recognize her from detention yesterday, but you haven't really spoken to each other before. I was hoping I'd get a chance to talk to you after you were in detention together. What did you even do to get in trouble? I pretty much always choose fire in the science lab, like every time, but I want to be nervous. Bit shy, huh? It's okay. I'll play nice. She lets out a sinister chuckle that doesn't concern you as much as it rightfully should. But I guess it's just you and me for a minute. What's my name again? Quick chat, tell me what my name is again. While I enjoy my mega thick shake. I enjoy my thick shake a little too much. Alright, let's just sit with the default then. Oh yeah, Alex, that's right. Can't believe you forgot my name, Emily. So inconsiderate. The teacher walks in and starts erasing the last lessons notes off the board as the other students slowly trickle in. Laters, Alex. The teacher drones on about some boring lecture about the colour orange for the whole class. Or at least that's what you managed to write notes about. You're too tired to pay close attention to the class because you were up late playing video games again. The bell rings and you wander out slowly, following everyone. You spot Emily stopped at a locker in the hallway, talking to your friend Maya, who kept you up late last night to grind for loot in the new RPG you've been playing together, Castle Calaroxus. Maya pulls a silly face at you, and then they both walk to the next class. You grab your next book out of your locker and head back into the same classroom. You've known Maya for a few years now. She lives across the street from you above a convenience store. She stands out because she's always carrying her laptop around, which makes the occasional distracting beep, and has a huge yellow puffy coat. You mosey over to your seat and join the other students as they are milling in. And we get Kai. Teacher Kai. Students, I'd like to introduce you to our new student joining us today. A student with a huge jumper and long black boots stands up at the front of the classroom, smiling but a little shy. Nolan seems to notice that she's very obviously a demon. You try not to stare. This is Mola. It's Molly, miss. The teacher sighs and barely looks up from their desk, mentally preparing for the class to begin. Sure thing. Take a seat, Molly, and maybe get that sunburn looked at, yeah? The teacher doesn't even seem to notice anything weird about the new student. You wonder if you're the only person seeing them. Class drags on, with the teacher droning on about wacky things that happened in history. One student in particular, who you think is pretty new as well, seems to constantly ask questions. Taking a glance over at Molly, you see that she's practically hiding under her hoodie and barely paying attention to the teacher. The bell rings and you follow everyone out into the hallway, again, to put your books back into your locker. An impatient face appears beside you. You're in my way. You would look up to match her gaze, but you're completely distracted by the huge sword she carries by her side. How the hell did she get a sword in here after the metal detectors? Your puzzled and stunned face doesn't stop her from nudging you aside to get into her locker. You watch silently as she throws her things inside, then hurries off. You can't be sure, but you think that the sword somehow pulled that obscene face at you. Entering the cafeteria for lunch a bit late, you find it is already pretty crowded. And then we've now got the completely redone Sophie intro. You decide to go sit at a quiet table in the corner. Sliding your backpack under the table, you begin to munch on the lunch you had packed for you and listen to the sounds of students chatting all around you. While you are staring off into space, a student you recognize from one of your classes sitting across from you catches your eye and gives a gentle smile. She already has big headphones over her ears, but you can't hear what she's listening to over the sounds of the cafeteria. You watch as she turns back to her studies, reading through and sometimes scribbling notes in the margins. After you finish munching on your lunch, you decide to pull out some of your notes and start to study as well. While reading through one of your textbooks, you hear a soft humming that distracts you. Looking up, you see Sophie is bopping along to what she is listening to. Trying to get back to studying, you stifle a large yawn. You think about how you should stop staying up so late playing video games. You end up letting out a huge yawn as you listen to Sophie's humming and... hey, you awake to someone poking your shoulder. You fell asleep on your textbook. The bell just rang. Thanks. This is based on real events, you guys. Awkwardly, you scoop up your things and slide them into your backpack. Maybe you really have been staying up too late playing video games with Maya. Try and move my thing a little bit closer. Some technical difficulties. You okay? Yeah, I'm all good, thanks. She flashes you a big smile and waves as she walks away to her next class. You can't be sure, but it definitely felt like it was her humming that made you drift off to sleep. The bell has rung and everyone has slowly started heading towards their different classes. Today seemed to go so fast. You don't have any classes left today, so you can go home early, one of the perks of being about to graduate. You take your regular shortcut towards your house through the cluster of trees behind the school. The suburb you live in is pretty rural, so apart from the occasional wildlife, it's a quiet place to be. Your place is on the main road, but a little way down from where most of the shops are, so you're lucky to have the convenience store across the street. As you walk along, you spot another student, seemingly hiding behind one of the rocks. Hey there. Ah. Oh, it's just a kid. I thought you were a teacher. Willow, whom you have a class with on Tuesdays, turns away from you to pick up a potted plant. Are you skipping class or something? Yes, but please don't tell. She blushes a bit. Skipping classes doesn't seem to be something she does often. It's a woodworking class. I just couldn't bear to drill holes in it and glue it to strange things. She shudders thinking about it. As you look closer, you see a strange creature in the pocket of her overalls. It's one of the forest spirits. Their home is slowly being destroyed, so they begged me to help them. I couldn't say no, they're too cute. And I absolutely agree, look at that little guy. You both coo over the little spirit, and after a bit, Willow even lets you pet it gently. After hanging around for a little while, you hear the bell in the distance. I better get going. It was cool to see you, Alex. I think the spirit's like you. Willow wanders off to the trees, leaving her potted plant behind. Maybe she'll be back later for it. You slowly trudge through the tree-clogged path and get back to your house. Your parents aren't home yet, and it's already started to get darker pretty early in the day. You heat up some of last night's leftover lasagna and carry it up to your room. What should I get up to? Well, I think we're going to study, because there's finals coming up soon anyway. You decide to resist the allure of your latest video game adventure and open up some of your study books and catch up on some of your coursework. Hopefully this means your finals soon will be less stressful. Your alarm goes off and you silence it with a groan. You're a little tired still, but at least you had a chance to study last night. Are you ready to come down for breakfast yet, Alex? Looking around, you quickly throw on some clean clothes and head downstairs. Were you up late, playing video games again, Alex? I actually caught up on some of my notes. Got finals coming up in a few days. That doesn't sound like you at all. You must be pretty worried about the upcoming finals, huh? It's not all I'm worried about right now. I just want to be prepared is all. Mum pushes the materials to make your own bowl of cereal to you from across the table while she finishes up her own breakfast. Anything exciting happened in school yesterday? I met a few new people who I hadn't really talked to before. Anyone interesting? Sophie, the real bae. I decided to go and sit by myself at lunch, and Sophie came inside with me and we studied a little bit. She sounds like a much better influence on you than Maya is. Maya is fun, but it's hard to keep up with her at times. She has a lot of energy. Sophie just seems so chill. Maybe I'll try and sit with her again today. That sounds like a good idea. Finishing up your breakfast, you stagger back upstairs to finish getting ready for school, then head out walking through your usual shortcut through the woods. You end up arriving at school early again, while not many people are around yet. You wonder if Emily is here early again as well. But no one seems to be here, so you decide to get comfortable in your seat and get your books out for a minute or two of quick study. Catching up on some notes. Just wanted to get through some notes quickly before class. I'm Alana. I've only been here a little while. I think we've got 2 classes together. You wonder why so many people keep coming to this school right towards the end of the year. You remember seeing her in one of your history classes. She was the one asking you so many questions. You any good at history? I'm super interested in it, but there's just so much to take in. Want to tutor me? I can help you with maths or something. She pulls a cute face at you as she asks, hoping it'll help you say yes. Yeah, maybe. I do okay in history class. Awesome. I'm in the library after school this afternoon if you want to come find me. Yeah, cool. You both smile at each other before settling down into your own seats. The teacher wanders in as a few other students have already taken their seats around the classroom. Looking around, you spot a few familiar faces, specifically Molly, who was the new student that started yesterday. The teacher then begins to drone on about what will be on the final exam. You listen intently, but often you find yourself curious as to what the other students are doing. The bell rings after a long, boring class. Before you all run off to your next class, don't forget the prom is coming up soon, so make sure you get your tickets or you're going to miss out. Do we know what the theme is yet? I need to plan my outfit. Kiana's one of the most popular girls at the school. She's also the football team quarterback. Rumor is they still haven't found the ball she threw at the tryouts. No, Kiana, the theme hasn't been revealed yet. Hopefully early next week the principal will make an announcement. Oh yeah, the prom. The whole thing this game is designed on. I should probably figure out who I'm going to ask to the prom. You follow the rest of your classmates into the hallway to get your books for the next class. You see June walking up the hallway towards you and her locker. You're in my way again. She seems just as grumpy as she was yesterday. Sorry. Yeah, move it, nerd. Go easy on Alex, June. Emily, who just showed up out of nowhere, seems to have your back. June barely reacts and quietly trudges off to her next class. Sorry about her, she's going through some family stuff at the moment. Did this sword just yell at me? Yeah, it's a whole thing. Why are you acting like that's super normal? She's had it for a long time, I guess. We're actually good friends, not that you'd notice. You notice the corridor is empty as the next class is about to start. Going to be late for class again. So that little piece there was one of the things that people were complaining about a lot, is that at some point in the story, you would just randomly like, oh, I guess it's a talking sword. That's a whole thing that I just have to accept as normal now. I better run. Thanks, though. You scoop your books out of your locker and zip to your next class, which you walk into late, to a withering stare from your teacher. As I was saying, K.E. Burchett said, colours seen together to produce a pleasing, effective response is said to be in harmony, and humans have the ability to perceive 2.8 million different colours. Therein, it becomes quite difficult to accurately choose a palette that will adequately convey the feeling to the audience that you are intending. Some theorists and artists believe juxtapositions of complementary colour will produce strong contrast, a sense of visual tension as well as colour harmony, while others believe juxtapositions of analogous colours will elicit a positive aesthetic response. Ensure that you are paying attention to what colours you are using. Often creating a small test palette and measuring those colours against where they will be painted will give you the opportunity to visualise how they will fit. You look down at the few notes that you scribbled on your sketchbook. You only signed up for art class for final year thinking it would be a cruisy experience, but you were mistaken. Looking over to the desk next to yours, you can see Sophie vividly sketching a picture of something brown. It's probably too early to guess what it is. You spend some time working on sketches of your own. It isn't long before the bell for lunch rings and you follow the crowd into the cafeteria. Looking around, you notice a few people at different tables that you recognize. I'm gonna go sit with my bestie Maya. You go over and sit down next to Maya at a table. She's tapping away at her laptop, but when she sees you sit down, she pulls a silly face. Hey you. Hey. Checking your lip drops. Yeah, my farming bot has got a few things lined up. I have a few buyers waiting on items with a low drop rate. It's taking forever. You wouldn't happen to want to hook me up with some good stuff? Do you have the money? That's cold. Why do you hate me so much? Maybe if you actually carry some raids and Calaroxes sometime, I'll make it up to you. How am I supposed to compete if you're botting all the time anyway? True. Hey, you coming to the screening tonight? Which one? Ica Slicker? The new monster movie? Oh, right. Yeah, I'm keen. I'll do tickets, you do snacks? Yeah, that's easy. This way you stop me from spending all my money on weird snacks? That's true. I could live a long, happy life without having to eat licorice popcorn again. But it was so good. You hear the bell ring and Maya shuts her laptop. You both pack your bags and shuffle out of the cafeteria. Catch you later, alright? Yeah, see ya. You head out to your locker to get your books for the next class. As you settle into your last class for the day, the teacher is already running through the class at top speed. All students are furiously scribbling to try and keep up with the note-taking pace. Okay, now, choose a partner to continue working on this amongst yourselves. You look around at who your partner should be. It's gonna be Kiana. You decide to approach Kiana. Hey, need a partner? Sure do. Do you know what we're supposed to be doing? I didn't really keep up with what's going on. Yeah, a little bit. We're supposed to be composing a poem based on our experiences as a high school student. That's a bit boring, I guess. Wanna just goof around instead or something? Ooh, rebel. I like it. What do you wanna chat about? You excited for prom? Yeah, a little. If they'd announced the goddamn theme already. I already have a dress picked out. What about you? Got some fancy clothes prepared? Nah, not really. Usually Maya and I dodge these kind of events to just hang out. Literally too cool for school, I see. Ah, yeah. Who do you think will win prom king and queen? King? No idea. But queen is easily Emily. She exudes royalty. She definitely seems popular amongst my friend groups. She's a gift. Well, what would change your mind about going? What if you had a hot date? What if you got voted into royalty? Well, I can't be royalty if I don't show up. And I hadn't really thought about asking anyone too seriously. Maybe you should. I've seen a few cuties that I've thought about asking myself. It's Kiana looking in the mirror. Anyone I know? Maybe. You get distracted by the bell ringing and start to pack up your things. This is like one of those memes where you like wake up in the middle of the night 4 years later and you're like, oh my god, she was flirting with me. The teacher gives you a frown as you walk out of the classroom. Kiana catches you after the class in the hallway. Hey, you're Emily's friend, right? Yeah. You should come hang out at practice with us tonight. Usually it's a bunch of us and we end up sitting around joking about stuff. It'll be fun. Yeah, maybe. Kiana heads off. You assume to get changed and prepare for practice. Well, that's it for classes today. What do we want to do this afternoon? We could help tutor Alana. We could go meet Maya at the cinema. Or we could do the new episode 2 super special content of hanging out with Kiana after practice. You think that maybe going and hanging out with Kiana after practice will be casual and social, and you'll feel cool doing it. But you decide it might be safer to bring a friend or two. Pull out your phone and text Maya. Hey, Kiana invited me to hang out with some people after football practice. Did you want to come and hang out? We can go to the movies later this week. Yeah, sure. I'll meet you at the field. You reply with a frog emoji and start walking over to the field behind the school, because everyone knows what a frog emoji means. The team usually practices right after school finishes, and you can see some movement on the field already. Kiana looks busy, so you find yourself a seat in the stands nearby. You spot Maya walking onto the field, and you wave over to her. Since when were you all like go sports? It's a recent development. Nah, Kiana invited me to come hang out. I think Emily's coming too. Something horrible happened to you? Some kind of vat of acid? Spider bite? How are you so popular all of a sudden? Literally a mystery. MC has no like redeeming qualities whatsoever. I honestly don't know. And I think those things would only make me popular at the hospital. True. Do you know many of these people? Kiana and I have hung out a few times. And I think that over there is Marshall the captain. Isn't Kiana the quarterback? Yeah, I don't think she wanted to be captain though. You both see Kiana effortlessly throw the ball from one end of the field to the other. Wow. I definitely could not do that. Here come the cheerleaders. Do they practice around this time too? No, it's in the gym, I think. Don't get too excited, they're only here socially. Hey, Alex. Hey, Maya. Nice throw. Thanks, it's what earned me my spot. We're pretty much done today. Aren't you supposed to wear all that body armor and stuff? Nah, we're just doing drills today. Nothing that needed it. Wait a sec. Hey, Marshall! Well, what's up, guys? This is Alex and Maya. Did you guys watch some other practice? Mostly admiring Kiana's arm. No kidding. Our best guess is that she's at least a 200-yard cannon. More. Yeah, alright. I'll believe it when we can find one of them. You both going to cheer us on at the big game? Marshall. Remind me to fix that later. Isn't attendance mandatory? Yeah, but cheering isn't. Oh, okay. I'll wave a flag. Sweet, dude. I'll be back in a sec. Zole is waving at me. You'll wave a flag? Yeah, I didn't want to disappoint him. You don't have to do anything. It's the party after the game that matters. Marshall comes back with one of the cheerleaders, who you assume is Zole. Hey! Most of the other guys decided to call it a day, so it's just us. I was thinking of heading off too, but I thought I should at least come and say hi. I still want to practice that move for the opening act with you, Kiki. Need a few attempts at sticking a landing. Oh yeah, sure, tomorrow? Sounds good. You two should see it. She throws me in the air like it's nothing. Oh, I believe it. Anyway, we should get going, Marshy. It was nice meeting you two. Later, dudes. You watch as they both walk away. Zole trying to cling on to Marshall's arm, but he somehow keeps his distance. Kiki. Ah, shut up. I am never ever letting this go. Anyway, sorry this was kinda lame. Usually most of the team hang around for a while and muck about. This was kinda perfect for us introverts. Yeah, only a brief, small crowd. How are you gonna handle being in the big game? I don't know. It'll be my first one. Yeah, I don't know why they made it mandatory. Usually we dodge that kind of thing. Maybe the principal made it that way to make a big show of support. The next game is a big one, and if I'm lucky, I might get scouted for a scholarship. If you're lucky. You could land a football on the moon with that rocket arm. It moves too fast, but I've tried. Wait, what? Both Kiana and Maya giggle at each other. Come on, let's get you home. Alex, that's enough social interaction for one day. Thanks for coming and hanging out though. Hopefully we can do this again sometime. I better go get changed. I'll see you both later. Kiana jogs off towards the change rooms. Had your fill of sports yet? I told you, it's supposed to be more of a social thing. Maya walks with you towards your house through the forest at the back of the school. I should probably get home too, honestly. I've been tinkering with my income bots, and they need some time to get it right. And also, I'm craving pizza big time. I'll see you tomorrow? Yeah, of course. Maya waves and then heads off. You trudge up to your room right as the afternoon sun finally sets. What a day. You settle into bed exhausted. I guess Maya was right. It was a little weird getting involved with the football team's hangouts. I wonder if they all bailed because we showed up. I also wonder if they're the type to have crazy parties after each game like in the movies. I don't know if I can handle going something like that. I guess it was a little awkward. I'll find out tomorrow if Kiana felt weird having us there. You wake up, groggy from a big day yesterday. Rolling over, you see the alarm displaying an alarming number. I'm late. You throw on some clothes and scoop up your bag. Hurrying through the kitchen, you grab a snack and shoot out through the door. Shuffling into the first class of the day, barely on time, you slump into a chair, still tired from yesterday. The teacher slowly walks in and sets up their laptop at their desk and starts preparing their lesson notes. You are all distracted as the PA system crackles to life. I know you attend this school, you wannabe superheroes. You invaded my crypt, destroyed the beginnings of my skeleton army, and you will be made to regret it. I will find out who you all are and expose your secret to the world. Anyone not found to be a regular school student should fear my scrutinous eyes. I will find you and expose you, so that my undead uprisings shall turn you all into skeletons for the skeleton army. Man, it really doesn't like when I do that. The PA cuts out, and you see everyone awkwardly looking around at each other. The teacher lets out a big sigh. Let's ignore that bizarre practical joke and get back to the class, shall we? You wonder who could potentially be the superheroes they meant. Could Molly, a demon, be a superhero? Is Willow, having a weird forest friend, a superpower? You daydream through most of the class, the announcement leaving you confused and anxious, like most high school classes. The bell rings, and all of the students pile into the now crowded hallway, students all bustling and jittering about the announcement. Maya squishes through the crowd to pop up next to you. Is it you? Oh hey. Are you the superhero? I think you'd have noticed if I was a superhero by now. We spend enough time together, and I don't exactly vanish to the town's phone booth that often. Fun fact, their town has one phone booth. I bet you would wear a super dorky costume too. Sew it yourself like Spider-Man too. I would be a super cool superhero, thank you very much. If I was one. You could totally be the superhero. Is being better than you at video games a superpower? Yes. You both laugh, and Maya spots Kiana muscling through the crowded corridor. Kiana! Oh, hey Maya. How weird was that announcement? Oh, I know, we were just talking about it. Is it you? Yeah, why? Wait, really? No. Kiana winks at you, leaving you very confused. I really am starting to worry about what it's all about. Think it's some kind of prank? Or is it some kind of teaser about the prom theme? Honestly, with the weird stuff around here, I'm worried it's legit. Okay, now I'm worried. I've got to go do some stuff quickly before lunch. Catch you later? Yeah. You wave as Kiana heads off. I'm sure it's nothing, right? Lunch? Yeah, I'm right behind you. I'll grab a free table. And I'll completely ditch you to go and sit with somebody else. Let's go and sit with Sophie. You point over at a table where Sophie is sitting by herself. You both come and sit down at Sophie's table. Hey! Hey Maya, what's going on? I only just got here. Everyone seems to be much louder than usual. Sophie seems a little overwhelmed by the noise, like a person who's only just woken up. Some big announcement thing. I think it's a bit of a prank, honestly. I hope it turns out to be nothing. School is stressful enough as it is. Yeah, I can't wait for it to be over. But in the same way, I don't know what I'm gonna do when it's done. Just enjoy it while you can, I guess. Before we all become pop stars or internet celebrities or billionaires, and no longer have time for sitting with friends. Speaking of sitting with friends, Maya, you have to come and play with us on Saturday. I have a character ready for you and everything. Is this a video game? Yeah, it's a tabletop role-playing game, like a pen and paper thing. Sophie has been asking me to come and play for a while. Because I know you will love it. Is Declan still part of the group? Yeah. Then I'm not keen. Who's Declan? Maya points at one of the kids across the room who has a beard. We don't really get along. He kind of rubs me the wrong way. I'm sorry. He's been fine at our game so far. I didn't think it would be a problem. I don't want to risk it. Thanks though. Rather just avoid him altogether. That's okay. There's always a seat open for you, and I'll let you know if something changes. Thanks anyway. You wonder what happened between Maya and Declan, and who this guy even was. Who has a full beard in high school? It slips your mind pretty quickly, as you are more curious about what's going on with the announcement this morning. Although let's be real, for like immersion and realism, there's a demon that goes to this school, and a girl with a big sword that they just kind of let slide. The guy having a full beard, not a big deal. You wander into the classroom of your final class for the day. Today is another short day for you. You watch as the teacher scribbles some details onto the board about a group assignment. As part of our public speaking module, we've set up an assignment. Students will choose their own pairs, then write and rehearse a 1-minute speech on any topic they like. Then together they will practice by performing the speech to each other. Then tomorrow you will all present your speeches to the class. Take some time now to form your pairs and discuss your plans. Looking around the room, you see a few faces that you recognize might be a good choice for this project. And we're going to pick Willow. You decide to go and ask Willow to be a partner for the project. She's standing by the back of the classroom with Jamie, a student you recognize from her class paper. They were featured for a mural they helped paint on one of the walls of the school. Maybe they're already partnering up. Hey, Willow, did you want to... Huh? Oh, we were sneaking out to do some gardening. What? It's almost the end of the day, and I want to check on my tomatoes. And I've been carrying this around, waiting to repot it for a while. Did you want to cut class and join us? Sure. You decide you might as well follow along. He seems much more excited than what's going on in the class. The three of you slip out the back of the classroom and quickly walk into the forest path near the back of your house. I've been carrying this heavy plant around for a few days now, trying to make my mind up about putting it into a bigger pot or planting it in my garden. I still vote garden. What do you think? Bigger pot into the garden. Bigger pot. Yeah, maybe. I'll decide after I see how much space I've got. You finally spot where you've been walking to with them. A small house in the forest. Oh, I realize you've not been to my house before, Alex. My parents really wanted to be right amongst the trees, and also literally walk past my house every goddamn day. Don't they have a car? Yeah, it's parked a short walk from here. It must be a pain to get all the groceries in. We grow a lot of it ourselves, so we don't need to buy that much. As you get closer to the house, you can see a small garden that's been marked out for Willow to one side. And next to it is another small patch that has very small tomatoes growing. Yes, look at how well they're growing. Nice. They look so happy out here instead of in your little planter box at home. Yeah, my balcony isn't the best spot. Don't you just get a lot of animals just coming and eating them? Sometimes. I always thought it would be more of a problem. They must be scared of how close people are and how noisy they are. Willow puts her pot down next to her little garden. There's not a lot of space here. Jamie fills up a small watering can from a nearby rain collecting water tank and very carefully and gently waters the tomatoes. You end up just watching the amount of care that goes into it, and you catch Willow watching as well. Are your parents home? My dad probably is, he works from home. Yeah, so does mine. I don't see him come out of the garage much though. Must be a lot to do. Yeah, I know what you mean. Do you usually sneak off and do gardening during the day? Well, that's what I was doing when you first bumped into me after school. I've only recently been influenced to become a school dodging miscreant. Willow has corrupted me. Hey, it's not like that. Gardening and nature are very important. It's true. Now you've corrupted me too. Oh, stop. Willow playfully hits your arm and then refills the watering can Jamie had just finished using. You both watch Willow attentively dance about and water her little garden, humming gently as she goes. She catches you both staring and becomes a little self-conscious. Well, I guess I don't have that much time to plan this today. Oh wow, it's getting dark already. Are we really standing out here for a few hours? I guess so. It's like, just imagining the water level on the tomatoes is flooding the entire forest because she's watering it for 4 hours consecutively. I better run home. I'll catch you both later. Jamie runs off and you all wave to each other. I should start getting vegetables ready for dinner. I'll see you at school tomorrow. Yeah, of course. This was cool. Thanks for dragging me out of school. I won't make a habit of it if you keep teasing me. Okay, I better go. You both wave and you head off back to your place down the forest path. So I know this is short, but I'm going to stop it there because the next 2 days is the big Kiana Maya scene, which hasn't changed at all. And then after that is the Willow and Pecky scene, which hasn't changed at all. And then all the other stuff after that is like brand new episode 2 content that I want people to be able to kind of explore and play on their own. So we're going to cut it there, and then I'll be able to, go and upload it to YouTube later. So if you're watching this on YouTube, hello, please subscribe, please. It makes me get the happy chemicals. Otherwise, I'll catch you all later. Thanks for hanging around for the sneaky quick stream that I've done. I hope you like how hard I've been working on this episode. There's a lot of little improvements that you see if you've played through a couple of the previous versions. You can see a lot of the extra content and streamlining and smooth stuff and extra options, and I've made some of it easier to follow the character story and a lot of little bits and pieces to try and get the new episode to be really, really good. So I hope you guys are enjoying it, you like what you're seeing, and it's only going to get better as more and more stuff comes out. So yeah, make sure that you go and check it out on Steam, get your copy, or come play and catch all the stuff that happens after this. So thanks for hanging out.